This is a follow-up video that I done a few years ago on charging a air conditioning system in a 1996 Ford F-150 that covers that whole generation of F-150s that ran from 1980 to 1996. Through the years, some things may be a little different, but the process is all the same for charging it. But in that video, I get a lot of comments about the vacuum of why isn't the vacuum lower on the gauges than what it is. And that has to do with, at that time, the vacuum pump I had was this little cheap vacuum pump that connects to an air compressor hose, and this was like $20 at Harbor Freight back many years ago. But the downside to this kind of vacuum pump is you can buy one like this, or you can have a vacuum pump that's a standalone unit that you don't connect to an air compressor. And this one will not pull a vacuum like a standalone unit will. It's cheap. It's made out of plastic. You got an air hose that's connected to it, which you're not going to get the volume pulled from it like you will a standalone unit. Since I've made that video, I have bought a standalone vacuum pump. I haven't used this since. It's sitting in the shed and hasn't been used. This thing, after having a standalone type vacuum pump, this thing's not that good. It got the job done for what I needed to then, but after having a better one, works a whole lot better. And this is the standalone vacuum pump that I have. This thing, it came from Harbor Freight. It's 2.5 CFM. They have a couple different standalone vacuum pumps you can buy from them. This one's a 2.5. I think the other one, it was about $30 more. It's a 3 CFM, but it's rated for like doing like air conditioning systems in like a house or something. This one's also rated for home air conditioners or auto air conditioners, what it says on the directions. But this one, it pulls the vacuum down fast. It pulls the needle all the way down to the lowest bar on the manifold gauge. My manifold gauge set goes down to 30 bars of vacuum, and this one will pull it down to it in just a minute. Even though it pulls it down fast, you still want to let this compressor run for a while, pull all the moisture out of the system. It's heavy. It's made out of some heavy metal. It's also an oil type compressor. You can see right there where it has the oil level, which means that it's got oil lubricant in it, and it's going to last a long time. When I'm pulling a vacuum on the system, I may let the vacuum pump run for 2, 3, 4 hours. I'll just let it start pulling the vacuum and walk away from it and just let the pump do its job. And I have not had this pump to fail me. I've had this pump probably about 3 years now, and it has not let me down the first time. It does a excellent job. This pump is around $100, but if you're going to be doing any kind of air conditioning work on your vehicles, buy this pump. It's made by Pittsburgh, Harbor Freight brand. It's solid, it's heavy, it's got a decent power cord on it. You can add compressor oil to it if it gets low in oil. I haven't had to add any oil to this since I bought it. It doesn't leak any. It's been an excellent tool. So if you see that video where I did that air conditioner and you wonder why it didn't pull down the lower vacuum, that's why. This pump will do a tremendously better job at doing it than this little $20 pump that you hook up to an air compressor. If you're going to be doing any kind of air conditioning work, don't buy this kind. Buy a standalone unit. You'll be glad in the long run. I got a clip that I'll show you of me using this standalone vacuum pump. Right now I'm pulling a vacuum on the air conditioning on this 1995 Ford F-250. And I'm using this Harbor Freight vacuum pump. And good thing about this style like this is you don't have to worry about it burning up your air compressor. If you're going to buy a vacuum pump, I would buy this one right here from Harbor Freight. I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.